Hello, welcome. Come on in. How are you today? My name is Crystal. This is Clear as Crystal. How's your Sunday going? How is your day today? I see Yeti has joined us. Hey, son. How you doing? Clear as Crystal. I am here. I love to share any kind of advice that I've learned throughout the years that's helped me or those around me. And so that's why I started this stream. And so we are here Sunday. And as you can see, what did you just say? That is the question. What did you just say? We're talking about communication today. What did you just say? And so, like I do for the other streams, just kind of a good rule of thumb. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and put your phone to the side. Or if you're on your phone, try not to switch between too many tabs. Just take a deep breath. It's Sunday, you made it. It's Sunday, you're here. You in this thing. Hello. Go ahead and, like I said, put that phone to the side or try not to have too many tabs open. Let's just have a real conversation. I'm listening. What did you just, I'm listening to you. I want to hear you. So, we took a little bit of a break off because we had to get some things set up. Chief and I set up an LLC, bank account. We've been in touch with people about music. If you like that beat, I'm going to give a shout out to icethefluffyfox. He's putting together some music for me so that I don't get dinged on copywritten stuff. Create different vibes for us and stuff. We're working on some branding. Our friend Foxy is going to be putting together a brand for us. I've got a photo shoot lined up. So Yeti, you will be going with us to Texas for that. Don't even ask me. I'll tell you the date you take off. That's fine. But yeah, we are here. We're talking about communication. What did you just say? Because a lot of communication is listening. Anybody listening? People taking the time to actually hear you. So when you speak, are they hearing what you say? Are they trying to one up your story? Questions. Good question. When you communicate, are you listening? Are you on your phone while they're talking? Like, how much are you actually hearing? I hear people say I'm good at multitasking, but don't we all want a little undivided attention? I'm not asking you to do that for me particularly. I'm just saying in daily life. Are we listening? How much are we listening? Because that's most of communication. Right? Are we listening? Are we hearing the other person? Can we expect that people are actually listening to us? What did you just say? And so, as we know, obviously, listening is everyday life. We must listen. We have to listen. There's so much going on, but you don't understand, Crystal. I got this, I got that. What's going on here? What's happening there? I can't stop to listen. Right? It's just too much, right? It's just too much. You're like, I can barely, I'm working right now trying to listen to you talk. I can't do this undivided stuff. Listening. But if you're not really giving undivided attention, undivided attention. Are you really hearing what they're saying? Are you, Chief? Chief's producing for me. So I'm messing with him. He's looking at his phone trying to make sure volumes and things are good. But are you really listening? Can we really hear each other? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Because I've come across so many people who can't even take 5 minutes to listen. Not necessarily to this, but just like, okay, well, I've got, this friend told me to check this out, or I got to do this, and I'm trying to help with that. And can we listen though? Can we really hear? And so we're going to dive a little bit into relationships today. Because whether we realize it or not, relationships is the currency of life, right? It's not necessarily what you know, but who you know. Connections. I got this set up. I got this friend. I know that person. I get you to hook up on this. Oh, my bro does that. I know this chick that does this. And so we need those relationships. We need those partnerships. We need those people in our lives. But are we listening? Are we communicating? Are we communicating effectively? Is it actually making a difference? Think about that. Go ahead and add in the chat, something you might know about the topic or whatnot. Please feel free. I want to pay attention to the chats as well. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm not hearing you. I'm not listening to you. So go ahead and drop it in the chat. But listening, relationships, people, all of us together. And so one thing I'm really excited about that's coming up, Chief, is Chief's parents are getting remarried April 3rd. They're celebrating 40 years of marriage. 40 years. Chief knows because he's almost 40, so something right there line up for him. I'm not even 40 yet. I'm not even 35 yet. 40 years of marriage, of communication, of being in a relationship, of having to understand this person through ups and downs, thick and thin, ins and outs. 40 years. We don't even have to go that deep. Let's say you have a partnership. I've got partnerships as I've described. I've got somebody working on the logo. Fox is making more music for me. I'm lining up a photo shoot with our friend Charlito. But how can you even work together if you can't communicate well, right? You say, I need this, I need that. Can you line this up for me? Well, I kind of wanted to have this kind of sound. I wanted to have this kind of look. I wanted this to come off when you see it like a brand visually. It all takes communication. It all takes talking. And we can speak the same English language for the most part. Little Ebonics in there, Tomatula Spanglish in there, how you do. But for the most part, we're speaking the same language. But are we communicating? Right? Are you really receiving what I'm saying? Are you really hearing me? Is it really getting through to you? Like, do you need me to switch it up on how I'm saying it? Do you need me to say it a different way? But the end result is, are you receiving what I'm saying? And I think that's really important for Twitch streamers too. You know, a good habit and a rule of thumb that War Chief and I do is that we'll go back and watch our own videos. Because what we thought we were saying, is it really coming across? What we thought we were putting out there, is it really being effectively communicated? And that's important. That's very important. How are you going to get upset with them if you can't even watch your own stream back and decipher what you were saying, right? People really get upset about that. I know for a while, of course, you know, every relationship. So with Chief and I, follow, I appreciate you. You know what? You're going to help me get there because I can't even really see much of it. I appreciate you following. Who is that, Chief? What's the name? The tag name? Oh, goodness. I appreciate that. I think I know that's a compliment. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. But are you really communicating? So Chief and I, when we first started our relationship, right? Any two people working together, any two people just starting to have a conversation, whether you're complaining about gas prices at the pump, or you're waiting in line at Walmart, you're trying to work with someone on a deal, whatever it is, you have to learn how to communicate. Yeah. And so, a lot of the times I'd be like, Chief, what are you, can you put that in a coherent sentence for me? And he would just be like, volume up. La, 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 la. I like that ain't what I said. Change your words, right? And so one of the biggest hurdles in communication is understanding how the person receives information. Because what's okay to someone is not okay to another person. Chief is from a background that deals with martial arts and bodyguarding. And so a lot of his language seems very strong to some people. He'd be like, you're attacking me. Attacking you? I didn't even touch you. I didn't even say anything. Wait a minute. What he's saying is, I feel like you're coming at me. I feel like what you're saying is trying to hurt me in some fashion or form. Pull back a little bit. Right? I'm sure you've had friends that came off and said something like, bro, you coming at me, bro. You're coming at me. What does that mean? That means you got to change it up a little bit. Because a lack of communication will escalate a situation really quick. Am I wrong, Chief, or am I right? And so, if you understand the person that is receiving the information, receiving what you're saying, you can communicate better. You can communicate better. So I would be talking to Chief, and I would be like, and Chief is my husband, by the way, if you're curious. Who is this Chief person? Chief is my husband. He's my producer. He's the one that if you did receive a message while I've been live, he is the one that's crystal. But I would say something to Chief. And I'd be like, babe, we are in a crisis right now. And he would be like, how is this a crisis? I'm like, because this won't get done, that won't get done, this won't. He's like, it's not a crisis. It's an adjustment. It's an alignment. Right? We just got to move some things around. And so I was like, oh, shoot. I'm not communicating well. I'm not. And so I believe strongly that once you figure out how the person you're speaking to receives information, you will have an easier time communicating with them. And that takes listening. That takes a lot of listening. So, like I said, if you're joining just now, go ahead, put your phone to the side. Or don't check another tab. Kind of take a few minutes to listen. I know that's hard in this day and age. I know. But listen. Like I told you, I have a lot of things I want to talk about on this channel. I've got a lot of personal stuff, a lot of things that just affect most or all of us in some form or fashion. And I don't want anything that I have to say to be taken the wrong way. You'll know when I'm trying to be strong with it, trust me. But for the most part, I just want you to hear. And then if something works for you, go ahead and try it out. Or if something, an angle, maybe I'm coming towards something or approaching a situation or a subject at a different angle. And you're like, oh, let me try it out. Let me see what it's about. And so, what is it? Samson? Oh, Samson, my dog. What you want, Bubba? Come here. I think he's groaning at the neighbor's dog. That dog gets on his nerves. Oh my gosh. But communication. How many times have you tried to communicate with a sibling, a friend, a coworker, a fellow streamer, and it felt like you just were not getting your point across? Complete miscommunication. Complete miscommunication. And so you better believe that when I go visit my in-laws for their 40th, we celebrate, we sit around, we enjoy, they reminisce. I will be all ears. All ears on trying to figure out how they successfully communicated for 40 years. Now, this isn't one of those couples that sleep in a separate bed. I know you know them. Don't act like you don't know them. This isn't one of those couples that are kind of like, well, you go do your thing, I'm going to do my thing over here. Because you know they exist. You might be in a relationship like that right now. Partnership. And so what I've learned is approach, volume, how fast you're speaking, and your choice of words all play a huge part in communication. And there's different types of communication for all types of settings. Because you better believe yesterday when I was playing video games with Chief, got so upset. I was getting trounced, guys. I can't lie. It was my first time playing Paladins. And this one character with the throwing knives, you know who she is if you've played that game. But I was all kinds of heated. I was, Chief. was all kinds of heated because that moment caused for a almost a controller throw. If you where the heel at? Heel, get over here. Chief, Tank, I need you. Hello. And so, yeah. But today, I'm a little more calm. Because obviously there's a message that I'd like to, communicate. And so, I want to go a little bit further. Communication in relationships, communication in marriage, communication. What'd you say, Yeti? You wasn't what on Paladins? He thought I was quiet. I was not quiet. I was quiet because I was in my zone. I wasn't calm. No, absolutely not. It's a different setting. If you go out with me and we're out having a good time, no, it's completely different setting. If I am one of those people that will help to get a party started, if nobody's enjoying themselves, everybody trying to sit or acting all cool in the cut. Yes. I will help to turn the energy up to 1,000. And Chief knows last night, that's just how I roll with video games, sports, trivia, card games, Uno, Connect Foe. I don't care what it is. Tabletop, video game, online, local, I don't care. I'm competitive. I am an extremely competitive person, and I've had to calm that down quite a bit because Chief has noticed that when we are not married when I'm playing. If it is a versus game and there is a ranking to be had, oh no. I do not play. I'll be like, Chief, where are you? Get your butt up here. You was fired. Because it's a time to, flex that muscle. It's a moment to go ahead and show off what you got. And so competitive, no, I do not play that. But in relationships, like Yeti. I'll go ahead and talk about Yeti. Yeti joined Chief. He joined his sales group a couple years back when Chief was working on a different job. And Yeti was new to it. He was kind of lacking in confidence. Almost 3 years, that's right. And so Chief was showing him the ropes, teaching him how to be a salesman, showing him, okay, if you do this, if you do that, if you change up your approach, then you'll have success, So we fast forward to now, and we're starting this. And I was like, you know who we need? Oops. You know who we need? We need Yeti. And I was like, oh, Yeti's got to come join the team. Yeti is what, 6'5"? He's got to be 6'5", 6'6". Go ahead, drop it, Yeti. What do you think, Chief? Because Chief is 6'2". So he's got to be a good 6'5". No, you're not. No, you're not. You're 6'5" or so. Chief is 6'2", and you call him short. So he says he swears. Anyway, so Yeti came back around, and like all of us, we've all been through some stuff. I could tell that Yeti, was going through some stuff. He explained some stuff. I won't get into it, of course. That's his story to tell. But I realized I had to have a little bit of a gentler approach with some stuff. But I was like, oh, this guy has to stay around us. He has to. He is an excellent communicator. He is a hype man. He is a what do you need? I will be there. He's also a big teddy bear. So Yeti is probably 10 years younger than me. Don't drop your age, Yeti. Don't drop it in the chat. But Yeti is about 10 years younger than me. And he calls me mom. He is a big bear. And he calls me mom. And I'm okay with it. Because I understand that is a form of communication to him. That is a relationship for him. That is something where he is making a connection and establishing in his life, saying, you can speak into me. Mingli! Oh my gosh, Mingli, I'm so happy you are here. What's good? How was your Sunday? Yeah, Mingli. So we are talking about communication, Mingli. As you know, communication is no joke. And so Yeti is kind of like a son to us. And so Yeti was surprised, after I talked to him, kind of caught up with life and what's going on. Foxy in the house. Welcome, welcome. And so after I got done kind of breaking down, hey, I think this is what's going on. This is a suggestion. I think you deserve a little bit better. Here's this. Then I could talk to Yeti and clown him a little bit. I could clown him a little bit. I was like, Chief, do you realize that he is 6'5"? He is 10 years younger than me. I plan to keep him around for the rest of my life. But he will always sound like a 13-year-old kid. Yeti, you will always sound like a 13-year-old kid. Oh my goodness. But it's about communication. And he calls me mom. He hates me and loves me at the same time. It's okay. But that's how it is, because I was able to communicate with him. I was able to meet him on his level. We have similar background hoods. But outside of that, I have some, similarities with the Yeti. But not enough where, some random person would start calling me mom. It's about communication. What are you putting out there? Hello? If you scroll back through your own Facebook page, is what you're putting down what you think is being picked up? That's the question. That's the question. Chief back on the chat. Right? Communication. You are your own brand. How you talk. What you say. That info you put out there. Your bio is not just so many characters, right? People want to believe that. Your bio is everything you would put online. I hate it. Right? We came up in the generation where this was not even possible. Everybody had a person. I talked about it in my last stream. Y'all remember that long phone cord you had to drag to your room so you could talk to your friend in privacy? Because it was a landline. Now you put something online, it cannot be forgotten. There is a memory hold. It is forever there. And so Yeti, just because you're too young to know what a landline is, don't mean that ain't people in here that can't relate. But yes, what you communicate. What you communicate. And so, as I was saying earlier, what you think you're putting out there may not be what you're... I asked Chief, go ahead, change it up for me. If the volume just goes up, you ain't changing it up for me. And so I think what we forget, like I was saying earlier, just a little bit earlier for those who are just joining us, is that once you figure out how to first listen, you can then communicate. You can then speak their language. Money Talk. Y'all remember that movie? There's a funny scene where the guy is getting into the cab. Was it Chris Tucker? Yes. And he was like, I need to go over there. Move, move, move. And there's like this Asian guy driving. And he's like, come on, man, and get in the way. That's my Chris Tucker voice. Come on, man, and get in the way. And he's like, huh? I don't know. The driver's like, I don't know. All of a sudden, he pulls out a big wad of cash. And he said, now you're speaking my language. How are people receiving? Are you actually saying what you think you're saying? Is it really coming across? Foxy, I know you're in a relationship. Are you married? I forgot. Are you married? Ming Lee just one step away from being married. I ain't gonna say nothing. LOLs. LOLs. I ain't gonna say nothing. But if you are in a long-term relationship, you know that communication is no joke. Communication. It's okay. It's complicated. I get it. We're going to get there. We'll talk. But working with others. Foxy, I gave you a shout out earlier. She's working on my brand. She's working on some calligraphy for me. Next week, what, Mingley? And so, communication. Now, if I go to Foxy and I'm like, Foxy, I need a brand. I need you to do some calligraphy for me so that I can go ahead and put this thing on here. I can go ahead and update my thumbnails and all of my, all the places where my brand should go instead of just a photo. And I don't actually show her what I'm looking for. How can I expect her to know? If I don't provide any direction, how can I expect that she will actually bring me what I need? I can't. I absolutely can't. And so a huge part of communication outside of listening is understanding what you want to say. What are you trying to say? What did you tell her? What are you trying to say yourself? Ming Lee is pregnant. I'm so excited. Ming Lee, we're coming to town. Like I said, Chief's parents are getting remarried for their 40th. So we will be taking TT down there. to spend some time with them, to celebrate with them in early April. So we'll either become that way April or May, but we will be there. I can't wait to see you. And the baby. Congratulations. But yes, do you even know what you want to say yourself? Have you taken time with your own thoughts enough to say, this is the root of what I'm actually trying to say? Because we fight within ourselves sometimes, right? We fight within ourselves trying to figure out, what am I actually trying to communicate? Why are they not hearing me? Why are they responding like this? What did they think I said? I said the cat is yellow. Why do they keep saying the dog is blue? The cat is yellow. And if you actually took some time, you'd probably realize you're trying to say the bird is green. You're not. You didn't put a cat, a dog. You're actually trying to talk about a bird. I know I'm using a far-fetched analogy. It's because I can't cover every single thing. But in communication with relationships, what you want to say is, I'm a little nervous about the finances. How it comes out is, why you spent $30? Who told you should go and swipe that card one more time? Pause. That's part of understanding yourself. So you're concerned about finances. You're yelling about the symptoms of the finances when you need to just pause and say, you know what? I'm concerned about the bag right now. Where are we with things? Why does the bank account look so low? You know, I'm not quite happy with this. We have different spending habits. And it's not jiving. We're not on the same page. What did you just say? I like a certain level of clean that Chief only wants to give effort for it every now and again. He is over there cracking up. But it's the truth, you know? We're different people. Everybody's a different person. They have their own preferences. And so I'm like, Chief, this is not clean to me. He's like, yes, it is. It's clean. I'm like, well, if I take this white napkin, you see that? He's like, but it's clean. Oh, calm down. It's clean. And so it's just part of communication. Foxy, you gotta quit what? You gotta divorce a couple of jobs. Ooh, oh my goodness, I got a long story about that. We have got so many jobs and we're trying to chase our dreams and goals. Tell me about it. But communication. Are you really saying what you think you're saying? Do you even know what you really want to say. Are you willing to change it up so that the person you're speaking to can receive it? Shush. Mingly. I can cut that out. We're almost there. You'll know. Trust me. You'll know when we're there. But communication. And so, as I told you, I started this channel because I wanted to chat. I picked up a lot of experiences that I feel can help a lot of people. And so I've been working. Like I said, Chief set up an LLC. We got a bank account connected to it. Trying to just get all of our ducks in a row. Anywho, so someone reached out to me via Twitch. So one of my Twitch listeners reached out to me. And they're older. They like the Twitch scene though. They're older. And they've been married about 20 or so years. And she told me that after 20 years of being a faithful wife and being there for their spouse, helping them chase their dream and their goal, that person decided to step out of their marriage. That was rough. That was rough. And I couldn't offer any direct advice on how to feel, of course. My first question is, what do you want? Right? Because that's the basis of all of this. What do you want? We all have free will. I'm talking about communication and relationships. We all have free will. If you are trying to control your partner, spouse, or significant other, something is off. So I asked her, after all that, after the length of time it's happened, because it was not just a one-off, 20 years of building your life together, what do you want? And she said, well, I want to stay with him. I want to make this work. I said, okay. First of all, is it cut off? Are they still stepping out? Do they still have the fans page open? Hello. Are they still checking for Ashley and Madison? Do they really want to be with you? What do they want? Because you can want it all you want. But do they want this as well? That's right. 20 years is a long time to invest to just drop it and walk away. So do they want it too? Well, I believe they want it. Okay. Okay. Are you guys willing to see a counselor? Are you willing to take some real steps? Are you really willing to have some real conversations? Because at this point, you didn't know about what was going on with the finances. It was trust. It was trust. And I'm not telling you not to trust anybody. Chief and I don't have to check the bank account every day. We have a shared bank account. That's trust. A lot of people like separate. That's your level of trust, your level of comfort. I get it. But I don't have to check the bank account every time Chief steps out the door and comes back. Be like, okay, where that card was swiped, huh? He said he wanted to come and go. I see Quick Trip. I see this. No. So you trust him in the finances. He's got his routine. He, like I said, he's got his ventures. And so he's here, there, conference calls, this and that. And so you've trusted him where he is where he's supposed to be. You've trusted that he would communicate with you, of course. I'm like, maybe there is a little bit too much trust at this moment. Ask some questions. Ask some questions. Don't have to yell. Don't have to scream. Don't have to. No. Just ask some questions. Because now you guys are coming together. You found out what happened. You've confronted it. He's not happy, of course. He got caught. What kind of questions are you asking? How are you communicating? Are you guys just in shouting matches at this point? Because that's expected. Nah, But that's expected. Are you trying to work together or no? Well, it feels very awkward when we're in the room. So, it's okay. Get used to being awkward until it's no longer awkward. Because there are some questions that need to be asked, and there's some answers that need to be given. Am I wrong? Communication. Now, obviously, if she had gone back into that situation and said, you filled it in. I don't even need to say it. He would have walked out the door. He would have said, well, maybe we do need to get a divorce. Maybe this is a lost cause. Approach. It's about the approach. How are you approaching it? Because you do need answers and you deserve answers. But how you approach it is very important. Because when someone messes up in a relationship, like Ming Lee said, 20 years is a long time to be invested. That person is not going to feel like recovery is going to happen. Most relationships, recovery does not happen. And I dare to say it's because of communication. You feel like you threw it in the trash. You might be in a relationship right now, trying to figure out how to deal with this person. You're in love with them. You see a future, wink, wink, mingly. But it's just some communication that needs to happen. And so I asked her those questions. I gave it some air. I let it breathe for a week or so. I check back in every now and again. Hey, how's it going? What's going on there? How are things? Well, he just keeps threatening divorce. I'm like, okay. Does he really want a divorce? No, he doesn't. Okay. Sounds like he's really ashamed. He's really guilty, which he should be. Things happen, but it didn't happen overnight. No one took advantage of you. You stepped out on purpose. And it was a slow fade, I'm sure. You know, we all scroll. We all scroll. Go ahead and scroll through. We all scroll. Oh, there go a picture that maybe I shouldn't see. Did you linger on the picture? She didn't have that much clothing on. Girl would freeze in 70 degrees. Did you linger on it? I hear you. OnlyFans is everywhere, Crystal. What are you talking about? I can scroll on this app here, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. It's everywhere. Of course it's everywhere. It's called prostitution. But the question is, how far down a path are you willing to go to let go of something you've invested in? And so Yeti just posed a good question. I'm going to pause right there. How do you feel about people in relationships going through each other's phones? I think it's fine. Are you exclusive, number one, Yeti? Is the question. After you're exclusive, there should be nothing to hide. When Chief and I first got together, because I was tired of dating guys, I was just tired. And so we had decided anything on our Facebook, anything in our contacts, anybody who we knew had a thing for us, they had to go. Every piece of clothing, I don't care if it was expensive jewelry, I don't care if they bought me a computer, it had to go. It had to go. Are you willing to work for your relationship to the point where you say, I'm going to give away thousands of dollars of stuff? Because some ladies these days, you know who you is. You know who you is. If you can't pay if you can't do if you don't put a new piece of furniture in my house, can't pay my bill. Yeah. Would you be willing to let it go for a right relationship? Would you be? How many sugar daddies is funding your lifestyle? I'm out of my know what you think about this. But think about it. Are you willing to let it go? We're talking about relationships, communication. Are you willing to let it go? For the one, for the investment. See, the problem is there is always a fear of missing out. I can tell you right now, there are 20 chicks live right now that look way better than I do. Talk way better than I do. More money than I have that she could easily be looking at. Why? Why? Why are we so obsessed with the next? The grass is always greener. But what if? Who cares? You are so busy picking up. Let me go ahead. This is everything on my desk, by the way, in case you were here. You are so big at... Okay, let me try to get my bubble cup. Now, this the one I really want right here. That big one. Oops, my big juice. That big one right there, that bubble cup, that's Chief. That's who I really want. Can I really get to him with all this extra? Can you? Can you? That's right. Because I don't care how much the next person has. If you tend to your own garden, if you tend to your own life, if you tend to your own relationship, they will be beautiful. Who cares? Who cares what this person is posting? Oh, I follow them because they got this and they got that house. And you don't know what their credit bill looks like. You have no idea how many separate bank accounts they might be hiding from each other so that they can post once a day. Yes, absolutely. Go through the phones. Actually, Chief and I, because we've got the thumbprint Android, I made sure both of our thumbprints, both sets, were on each phone. He doesn't care. I don't care. I told you, there's no whisper, no DM. Chief runs my personal Facebook page. He done seen a pic or two, a D pic or two from all the newcomers. I'm not concerned with it. I just delete it. But I have nothing to hide. Why would I? When I can... Why would you? It's the fear of missing out. You're not missing out on anything. Everyone has their own baggage, hang-ups, shortcomings, insecurities, downfalls, struggles. Everyone has it. You are not missing out on anything. So, back to the story. So they contacted me. And she wanted to know what information or what advice could I offer. And so this person, their husband does a competition where they work out, bodybuilder type stuff. And they're older. He married him a young, fine thing. And so fast forward 20 years. Now you're in your 60s. She's in her 40s. She's a hot 40 shawty. He's in his 60s. And so she realized that he was coming to her after they had, the blow up and the breakdown, the acknowledgement, and said, well, do you love me better at this picture or current picture? Said, well, I fell in love with the younger picture, but the current picture is who I'm in love with today. And immediately my brain said, insecurity. You're afraid because you're getting older, you're not as appealing. You're afraid now because you look different. Now, Ming Lee knows this. She didn't bounce back. I'm telling you, she had a son 13 years ago. 14? How old is he? Not everybody can bounce back. Sometimes our bodies just don't bounce back. Are you willing to love them? Even through insecurity. Communication, 13, yes. And that's why I say, you gotta sometimes listen to what they're saying. Because she had it fired up in her cannon, I love you no matter what. And I'm saying, wait, what are they really asking? Babe, I'm older now. I'm not in my prime. Can't do it like I used to do it. You can still do it though. You're at that age. Do you still love? If they don't have the bag you started off with. Bumpy roads happen to us all, do they? Do they not? Can you still love them even though the situation does not look the same? So I asked her. Okay, so there's a little bit of that. He's a little insecure, of course. He was looking for validation outside the home. He shouldn't have done that. I don't validate that or agree with it, but that's what happened. Dealing with their own insecurities. So I asked, how far are you willing to go? Oh, I'd do anything for them. I do anything for them. I said, okay, couples counseling. Couples counseling. You need couples counseling. Well, my insurance and this and that. No excuses. No excuses. Because communication and saying, I am willing to put money into this to save it. Time, energy, heartache, and getting an unbiased opinion, even on subjects and topics where I knew I could have done more. How far are you willing to go? See, they messed up. Yup. They're the ones that messed up. But after you realize what you want, you've done the initial communication. One other thing that I guess people don't realize, men and women communicate differently. Chief, is that right or wrong? I think that's the joke of every marriage, right? Every comedian has some weird joke about women and how they communicate. And men just want their beer and the TV and the sports. But men communicate very effectively if you listen. You gotta listen though. That's right, Mingli. Donnie said, get back up again. If it's worth fighting for, try it again. Men communicate very differently, very effectively. It's very straightforward. Some women can't handle that. Very direct. Sir, would you like to take a survey? No, thank you. Bye. Whereas women in the mall, if they were approached by someone who was trying to sell them, oh, not today. I'm not in the right place. Well, Chief just be like, clothesline, Heisman. I ain't got time for you messing with my money. No, thank you. And a lot of times we bring that home, of course. I'm like, Chief, you want some dinner? Nope, I'm good. Well, you didn't have nothing to eat. I'm not hungry. Okay. Well, I thought you said you know, earlier you seemed like you was snack. I'm good. I'm good. And I'm like that too. And I think I come off, some people would say masculine. I think I just know what I want. Yeah. And eventually you sync up. Depends on the topic. Depends on the topic. And so I've become very just kind of straightforward with it. A lot of things. Yeah, especially if I'm going to communicate with my husband. I become very straightforward with it. And so I asked her, okay, if you understand how men communicate, you got to think about this. Men perceive intimacy very differently than women. It's been a month. You guys have done some counseling. This is me checking back in. You've done some counseling. You're still dropping the divorce word. You feel like nothing's quite still unraveling. So I gave her a bit of advice. And I said, okay, next time you go home, try this. If you feel like you're on a 10, you already know he's going to be on a 20. Bring it back down. Do what you have to do to bring it back down. Have your little sip of wine. Go in the house very calmly. Just say, baby, how you doing? How was your day? I know what he did. Don't do that. I know he said divorce last. Don't do that. Baby, how was your day? Talking that real sweet voice. You need something to drink? You need something to eat? I'm going to get up. You want something? Now, mind you, he said divorce a week ago. Last screaming match. Approach. Hey, baby. I'm going to cook something. You hungry? You want something? You look tired. You need me to draw you a bath? And lastly, if you haven't figured out where I'm going, to keep it PG, so go ahead and love on him. Leave some kisses on him. Show him you forgive him. Because if you cut him off, the relationship is good as dead. Now, this is, of course, after you both have cut out anything that was outside of the marriage. Ashley and Madison were cut off. Whoever was getting any of his Twitch bits. Any YouTube coins. And an OnlyFans. I don't even know what kind of currency they have. Don't drop it. I don't need to know. After you done pushed it all off, he is committed to counseling. You both want this. That's when you reintroduce intimacy. You have to be intimate in a real relationship. Exactly. And I asked her, I was like, is there something he was wanting that you weren't willing to, like, come on now, be real with me. Clear as crystal. What was he trying to get that you weren't? But it's not fair, Crystal. He the one that stepped out. I know. I understand. Hey, Bubby. I know it, Bubba. This is my dog's nose, by the way. He might be in the camera picture and all. But the question is, what is he missing? What are you missing? What do you guys want? And so after about 2 months, now mind you, this is on top of however long the situation took place. Next morning, I received a whisper. Can I get you a coffee, Crystal? Can I get you some? I need you. You like Starbucks? What kind of coffee you? It's okay. It worked. Communication. Intimacy. In a man's mind, if you can't be intimate, it's over. Women out there withholding, women out there who don't want to give their husband. I ain't even gonna say your man, don't even play me. You have broken the relationship if you are married and you refuse to be intimate. Well, he won't take out the trash, bull. You are trying to control him. You are trying to manipulate through the goodies. I don't know who told you that. Mama, grandmama and them. Auntie and them. Ladies, if you are trying to control him through the WAP, it's not okay. Men, if you are trying to control her because you make all the money in the house, what did you do? I know you didn't say nothing. You ain't paying when I want. That's not okay. That's not okay. Trust me, that pendulum will swing the other way. People get laid off, people get fired, life happens. When she is supporting you, and she now has to become the main breadwinner, will your voice no longer need to be heard? Stop. It's not okay. It's not okay. Communication. What do you first want to say? Have you listened to yourself long enough to understand what you actually want to be perceived? And I've had to do that with Chief. He's right. I could be frustrated in a situation. I'm like, okay, I'm frustrated. I know I'm frustrated. I don't know why I'm frustrated. And he's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, something, but I can't tell you what it is. Give me a few minutes. And if it's pushed, of course, it turns into an argument. But we've learned to just give them 10 minutes. They'll figure out what they need to say. But if you take enough time to put this down, focus your mind. Think of why. Why do I feel this way in this moment? What do I really want from the partner in this business? What do I really want this relationship to look like? What do I really want my Twitch channel to look like? That all requires putting your phone down. All of it. All of it. I hate to tell you. I know you was addicted. I know you just scrolled and came back. You done went somewhere and came back. Hi, welcome back to the stream. I get it. But without it, you don't even know what you want. How can you even communicate and say what you want? You don't even know what it is. Approach. I was personally raised in a house where you weren't supposed to yell. You didn't have to yell. You didn't have to holler and scream. My two brothers, We don't do that to each other. We don't yell over each other. But I know people who do. I have friends and cousins who do. And that's their form of communication. So when they're yelling, or even people at work, geez, it's 8 o'clock. I almost got to turn it off so I can go deal with them tomorrow. Pray for me, y'all. But when they're yelling, they don't have to yell. They could just be strong in what they're trying to say. Or, you know, those people who, before you can even finish your sentence, they've cut you off. It's like, how you got an answer? I ain't even finished my thought yet. How are you talking right now? Those people, I understand where they're coming from. They're used to not being heard. You have been shut down so much in your life. You now have to fight to have a voice. You don't have to do that here. That's okay. I'll wait. I'll be patient. Go ahead, finish what you got to say. I'm just going to be dead silent until you're done. So you can hear yourself yelling. And you can feel like you expressed yourself. You realize, oh, I don't need to approach. Now, depending on who you work with, Yeti, I work with a lot of international people. Some of the language is more aggressive. Some of the language is more forceful. But that's understanding who I'm speaking with. So after you realize what you want to say, and you've listened to the person long enough to understand how they perceive things, then you can shape your words in a way where they will understand you. She heard it after our conversation. She was like, oh shoot, that was what he was trying to say. He was telling me that he was afraid that I was no longer attracted. He was trying to tell me that he was afraid that he was too past his prime to be the same person that he once was. He was saying that he was insecure because his body is his product in competitions. But he was afraid he was no longer there. That's right. You've told him. Now you've shown him. And if you haven't figured it out, actions speak louder than words. I know it sounds cliche. I understand. You just rattle off a bunch of stuff already now. Well, how's it working out for you? How is it going? Actions. Like I said, you can say, well, my Twitch page is all about this and that, and we gets down like this and we does that. But when you go back and watch your own, when you scroll back through your own, what are you actually saying? Is it actually coming off? You said, I'm not a this, But every picture is naked. Every upload is questionable. You say you're ready for her, but you still subscribe to how many fans? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, boo, we ready to be exclusive. It's just you and me, man, forever. Whose sweatshirt is that in the corner? Who did you just message? Actions. Actions speak louder than words. Let's be for real. You gotta stop playing yourself. We are clear as crystal over here. I told you I get into some deep topics later on. I'm trying to build something. Go ahead and check out the first 3 or 4 videos that were uploaded. They may not be on Twitch. Help me get to affiliate, guys, so that I can go and keep my stuff on Twitch. I just need you to follow. That's it. That's all I need you to do on Twitch. But you can check it out on Amazon. Not on Amazon. It's because Chief and Yeti are in the chat. You can check it out on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble, episodes 1 through 4. But what you're putting out there, what you're saying, isn't matching what you are actually doing. What you're saying to that significant other, what you're telling your spouse, is it what's actually happening? Relationships, communication. Very, very important. Extremely important. Extremely important. Take a second. Take a second. Think about it. Think about it. Is it coming off? Is it real? So Chief and I will be back tomorrow. We will have more of a discussion where we interchange chats even more so as a couple. We just wanted to do a little something today. But think about that. Think about that. Do you actually know what you want to be able to communicate it effectively? Have you listened to the person that's receiving to the point where you understand how they receive information? Even in their current state, especially if they're hurt, they're dealing with stuff. Can you cut through all that and actually speak to them? What did you just say? Are you listening? Are you listening? And then are you willing to change up your approach? So that you effectively communicate with those that you want to hear you. I appreciate you guys being here. Foxy, Yeti, Ming Lee, new followers. We appreciate you. Check back in again tomorrow. Clear as crystal.